Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 1.1 Notes, Day 2. We're continuing our discussion on, that's right, function notation. Our learning target today is to evaluate functions when given their equation. So, let's go ahead and get started. Example number 1. The function f of x equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4 is graphed below. Find f of 2. So before we talked about how, well, this is the x, I need to know what the y is, okay? So we were all like, okay, so when x is 2, here's x, here's 2, there's my point. Well, that's the point 2 comma 1, so that means my answer is 1. And congratulations, you're right. But now we're asking for algebraic proof. So what that means, I'm going to take f of 2. I know that x is 2, so we're going to plug 2 in, and we're going to solve it. Okay, let's make that actually look like a 4. So as I'm doing this, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. And then negative 3 plus 4, we get, we get 1! And isn't that what we said the answer was? Yeah. Okay, so if we don't have a graph, there is a way to find the answer by plugging it in. Okay, so here's our equation once again. The function g of x equals x squared plus 4x plus 7. By looking at the graph and going to negative 2, okay, once again, negative 2 because that's our x. What's our y? Well, it's negative 2 comma 3, so I'm guessing, you know, the graph says it's going to be 3. Let's find out if our algebraic proof gives us the same thing. So all I do is I plug in negative 2. We do order of operations. Negative 2 squared would be 4. Okay, after I do that, I would need to multiply 4 times negative 2, which is negative 8. From left to right, 4 minus 8 is negative 4. And then finally, my answer, negative 4 plus 7. Oh my gosh, did we get the same thing? Awesome. 3. All right, so today what we're going to be working on is practice solving. So, evaluating functions when given their equation. So when asked to evaluate a function for a given value, you have to use, oops, that's not my highlighter. Here it is, substitution. Okay, so we just need to pay attention which function they're asking for. All right, so f of negative 3, if I'm using, there we go, f of x. So f of negative 3 equals 3 times negative 3 minus 4. And we would just go through and solve. So 3 times negative 3 would be negative 9. And then negative 9 minus 4 is, no, it is not negative 5. It's negative 13. So f of negative 3 equals negative 13. All right, so g. We're using g, so make sure I find the g. G of negative 1 equals 2x squared plus 5. Okay, and we're plugging in negative 1. So when we're solving, remember we do exponents first. Negative 1 squared means negative 1 times negative 1, which is a positive 1. Next, we would do multiplication. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 5, we get 7. So g of negative 1 is 7. Okay. All right, number 3. We've got the p, so make sure you find p of x. So p, negative 16, equals 3/4 times negative 16 minus 9. And remember, if you're having trouble with that, use your calculator, guys. Okay? We have 3 divided by 4 times negative 16, and we get negative 12. Okay? So we have negative 12 minus 9, and then negative 12 minus 9 is negative 21. So p of negative 16 equals negative 21. All right, no freaking out because we're doing fractions. All right, so we're doing f of negative 2/3, and I'm going back to find my function with the f in it. That's at the top, the blue one. That would be sorry, 3 in parentheses negative 2/3 minus 4. So I plug in negative 2/3. And remember, if you don't know it, 3 times in parentheses negative 2/3 should be negative 2. So we have negative 2 minus 4, and negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So f of negative 2/3 equals negative 6. All right, h. First time we've had to do the h. h of 2 equals negative 3. Ooh, absolute value. Oops, that looks weird. 10 minus, and we're plugging in 2, plus 8. Just remember that you need to write down the entire equation. All right, so negative 3. We have to do the absolute value first. So 10 minus 2 is 8. After we do that, the absolute value of 8, yeah, it's 8. Negative 3 times 8, we would get negative 24. And then negative 24 plus 8, yeah, negative 16. So h of 2 equals negative 16. All right, go ahead and try 6 on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there's my work. So 2 parentheses negative 4 squared plus 5. Remember, negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4, which gives you a positive 16. 2 times 16 gives us 32, and then 32 plus 5 is 37. All right. So once again, we're going to use the functions below to find the missing value of x. Okay, so this one's a little bit different because before, if we look back up here, we said this was our x, right? This is our x, and we needed the y, so we were finding the y. But now, whoops, we don't know the x, and we need to, or sorry, we know the y, we need to figure out what the x is. So the way we set this up is we're going to be solving now, okay? So I'm going to use the blue one, okay, because it's the f of x, f of x. All right, so the way this works is we would say that negative 22 equals the 3x minus 4, okay? And now we're just going to go through and solve it like we normally would, all right? So that means I would have to add 4 to both sides. Negative 22 plus 4 is negative 18. And to get the x by itself, I would divide both sides by 3, and then we would get negative 6 equals x. Okay, so there's my answer, but if I'm asked for function notation, we would say f of negative 6, because that's my x, equals negative 22, which is our y. Okay, so, well, I don't know which one they want, so we got both answers. Oh, let's get the right highlighter out. Okay, so 8. Find your function g of x. Remember, this is the x and that's the y. Okay, so I know that this part equals 23. So I can say 23 equals the 5 minus 2x. And now once again, we got to solve. All right, so I'm going to subtract the 5 to both sides because I want the y or the x by itself. And we get 18 equals negative 2x. And then to get the x by itself, we divide both sides by negative 2. And we get negative 9 equals x. If we're writing that in the function notation, we would say that g of negative 9, because that's our x, would equal 23. Okay? And if you wanted to figure that out, we can do that real quick. I'm just going to do it up here. 5 minus 2 times negative 9. Well, negative 2 times negative 9 would be a positive 18, and 5 plus 18 is 23. That's what they wanted. We did it right. Yay! Okay. Enough celebrating. So remember, this is your x, this is your y. Since this is my y, I can set those equal. All right? So negative 15 equals the 3/4 x minus 9. Okay? And guys, it's just solving. SADMAP. Add the 9 to both sides. We get negative 6 equals 3/4 x. To get the x by itself, I need to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? So I'm doing 4 divided by 3 times, was that negative 6? It was. Times negative 6. And we get negative 8. So negative 8 equals x. And then if you want to write that in function notation, if that's what it's asking us for, we would say p of negative 8 equals negative 15. All right, number 11. So I'm going to come back up here, find f. It's the 3x minus 4. So 3 equals 3x minus 4. Why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can solve this one on your own. Good luck. Okay, so I added 4 to both sides, divided by 3, and I got 7/3 equals x. Now, I was kind of like, I don't know if that's true or not. So I actually went through and did the check, okay? So that means I'm going to go ahead and plug in 7/3 and figure out what it is. So I get 3 times 7/3 equal, or minus 4. So 3 times 7 is 21. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And 7 minus 4 equals 3. So f of 7 over 3 equals 3, which is the same thing that we got right there. Okay, so this proves that we did it right. All right, number 12. Where's the h one? There it is, 2/3 x minus 11. So that equals 2/3 x minus 11. Okay, and then go ahead and do that one. Pause the video. Good luck. Okay, so we should have gotten -9. You add the 11 to both sides, -17 plus 11 is -6, and then multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, number 13, you're all on your own. I'm not even going to help you set it up. Okay, just make sure you are using the right equation. Pause the video. Good luck. Don't just wait for the answer. Do it. Okay, and you should have gotten -12 as your final answer. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Your homework is the 1.1 Practice B. And that's it. So this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 1.1 Notes, Day 2. Thanks for watching.